Hey, and welcome, Prove It community. My name is Dr. Heather Carden. I am super excited and beyond blessed to be here with you on this Wednesday, our Wednesday Live, which we have each and every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. I am here to help you better understand all things Prove It. So as you're joining, let us know where you're joining from. I'm actually joining you from Kansas City. I am the co-owner of Carden Center for Wellness in Overland Park, Kansas, where I practiced for 25 years. So I'm just going to share a couple minutes about myself and how I became affiliated with this amazing community. While you're joining in, while you're getting actually notifications that we're here, I also want to give a huge, big, warm welcome to everyone who is brand new to the Prove It community. Maybe you just discovered this page today. Maybe someone just shared this with you this morning at the drop-off at school or the grocery store, at the gym this morning. So welcome. You can invite all friends, family, neighbors, coworkers to this amazing community page. We share information each and every day about how you can optimize your journey towards better health. As I said, my name is Dr. Heather Carden from Overland Park, Kansas. I've been practicing a little over 25 years alongside my husband as a functional medicine physician. Ever since we opened the doors 25 plus years ago, or even before that, I was practicing and living a low-carb ketogenic lifestyle. So this word may be new for some of you, the word keto, but it's not new for me. But yet I'm still learning each and every day as major universities are studying the science and research about ketones, ketology, ketogenesis, ketosis, and what it does for our body. Each and every one of you have actually been in ketosis once in your lifestyle. That means when you came into this world as a newborn baby, you're actually in ketosis. Probably as you were a kiddo running around the playing yard, riding your bicycle, maybe going back and forth in the pool, your body actually goes from a dual fuel source. What that means is actually when your body runs through your glucose or glycogen from the food that you ate, it automatically switches back to burning ketones, which is fat for fuel. Your body is so innately intelligent. It does this all the time. Through science and research, we know we actually have put patients before Prove It on a ketogenic lifestyle, ketogenic journey, and people have actually opted to be on a ketogenic lifestyle because the benefits are so amazing. I actually became part of this community back in 2015. I was already on a ketogenic diet, but I actually had trouble maintaining my ketone level high enough for the first time. Again, I've been on a ketogenic diet many times throughout the last 25 plus years, either for health reasons or as an accountability partner for my patients or just biohacking myself, just seeing what the science was all about. But in 2014, I had an accident. I had trouble maintaining my level of ketones. I was still kind of tired. It wasn't like a carb or keto flu thing. Just wasn't feeling the best that I had before. Then someone called me and said, did you know someone made the first pure therapeutic exogenous ketone? Now I knew from my research that people had actually been trying to do this, but they could not make a ketone that was palatable, which means tastes good, therapeutic, which means actually raise your level to a therapeutic level where you optimize human performance and actually was actually easy on your gut. I know I'm not going to go into a bunch of science about it, but actually when I had my first serving back in 2015, my ketone level went up a whole point. I felt like I did before. I felt amazing. I actually could ditch the stress of counting every single onion, red bell pepper, every almond that I ate. It freed that up. I could still maintain my low carb keto lifestyle, start sleeping better, moods were instantly better. I've drank them every day since then. So I've been with this company since we very first launched back in 2015. So I'm so passionate about you, your friends, your family, learning how amazing this fuel source is. What are ketones? It's simply a byproduct of fat metabolism. So being in ketosis means your body's metabolically burning fat for fuel. So how do you get there? Two ways. Either the hard way, which is actually lowering your glucose or carbohydrate intake, because we eat carbohydrates and protein, your body turns them into a fuel source called glucose. And then once you burn through your glucose and glycogen, which is stored glucose in your muscle belly, then your body taps into its stored fat. This is a little bit of science. People have to calculate and macro and kind of count what you're eating. Then your body will tap into its stored fat. As long as you don't overfeed the carbohydrates, then you can actually find your state of ketosis. Or you can do what we're going to do today, which is we're going to simply mix up pure therapeutic exogenous ketone. So if you're brand new, I thought I'd do this with you here today. Find a shaker bottle. I love my heart tart nice and cold, but yes, you can drink it with warm water. I love the raspberry lemonade and warm water in the wintertime. I've got a little heart tart here, 12 to 16 ounces of water. Put it in a shaker bottle. And yes, sometimes you do have to shake the packet because these are a salt. The NAT is bound to a salt, it's a little sodium, a little calcium, and you want to give it a good shake. You drink this in about 20 or 25 minutes. I don't want to say bam, but yes, that is the word bam. You're actually in ketosis in less than 59 minutes. Diet independent. So it does not matter what. I haven't had to count my macros. I haven't had to measure or weigh anything out. You can choose to be a vegan, a vegetarian, a carnivore, paleo, clean 30, whatever lifestyle that you choose. Yes, even ketogenic lifestyle actually brings your ketone level up to a therapeutic level. So now I simply shake this up, drink it, and I'll be in ketosis, which I already am, but it will actually raise it to a higher level in less than just 59 minutes. So let's get started today, which is your questions. I did want to share that for everyone who's brand new. I get the question all the time, how do I drink it? Just like this. You don't want to over dilute it like in a gallon of water. You do want to drink this in about 25 minutes so you saturate your cells from your brain to your toe and you achieve that level of ketosis. You will be there anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 plus hours depending on your body's chemistry, your body's history, your body's health history, and your activity level. So let's get right down to it. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what your favorite flavor is or what you're drinking today, how long you've been with this community. And ginger, I probably would not put apple cider vinegar in with my ketones if that's your question. I love mine just with water, but you can mix them with the sparkling water if you want. Some people like the LaCroix, the bubbly. You can mix and match your different flavors of ketones. We will talk about this Keto Kick here when the question comes up. I'm going to scroll back. I've got my computer here. Okay, Deb is having her lemon drop Keto Kick here, which is awesome. Let us know where you're watching from. So great question, Tracy, great question. How are ketones absorbed? So exogenous ketones, which are Pruitt has the world's only ketone that's bioidentical to what our body makes. They are absorbed through the bloodstream. So I drink this, they go right down my esophagus to my stomach, and from that point on, they're absorbed through the bloodstream. Just like if your liver was going to go break down your fat, uncouple it, and make a ketone, specifically beta hydroxybutyrate, because we make 3 different ketones. We are talking about beta hydroxybutyrate, that ketone specifically, then it's just absorbed through the bloodstream. And then what your body uses, it goes into the cells, and then what is left over, your body excretes out through the urine. That's the spillover. So it is best, if you're going to test, is to test your blood, because most of the meters out there today test beta hydroxybutyrate in your blood. The breath meters are generally testing acetoacetate or acetone. The breath meters are not, most of them are not testing BHB yet. I know there's some out there in development. So Chrissy's asking, is it safe to drink ketones while you're pregnant? So when it comes to a very specific health condition, something like pregnancy, we do ask that you discuss this with your healthcare provider and you make that decision with them specifically. I'm not here to give any medical advice. I'm not here to treat any condition. We know that ketones don't cure anything. They are an energy source for your body. So specifically discuss that condition with your healthcare provider. Electrolytes, again, we need electrolytes every single day. We have an amazing electrolyte. I don't have my packet here. It's called Mitoplex. Mitoplex is an upgraded electrolyte. The question may be why. There's lots of electrolytes out there. First of all, electrolytes, Mitoplex is our amazing electrolyte, are essential for survival. When you take electrolytes plus water, you get electricity. That's what connects our brain from our cell to our cell, from our organs to our organs, and our brain to the rest of our body. You can do a simple blood panel to see if you're deficient in electrolytes, or if you start to feel fatigued or you're dehydrated. Electrolytes help drive the communication between cell to cell. Oftentimes, if your cells are tired, you've had maybe a significant health history, your lymphatic system isn't running very smoothly, you can be drinking water, but it might not be getting into the cell. Or you don't eat a very clean diet, not a lot of greens, maybe some processed foods here and there, or maybe some artificial food coloring, some artificial sweeteners that tends to clog up our cells. That's why we're such a fan of the reboot and the 24 fast. However, the electrolytes you're eating from your greens might not be getting into the cell. We have something in our Mitoplex called PQ2. It is actually kind of like I want to called like a special key, or the golden key, to help get the electrolytes into the cell. It's a very specific molecule to ensure that the electrolytes are getting into the cell. You're not just washing them away as you drink them. Kind of like our ketones, because they are bioidentical to what your body makes, we ensure that they get into the cell. That's why we can say 99% of the time it puts your body in ketosis when taken as directed. You guys are rocking these questions today. Okay, great question. Stephanie's asking about the Mexican ketones. So she said, I prefer the Mexican ketones. Do I need to drink extra Mitoplex? So the Mitoplex, again, is our electrolyte. Anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 servings a day. It's up to you. We call it the good, better, best serving. Most people need at least 1 Mitoplex a day because we're not eating enough greens. We know we've lost a lot of our topsoil. So at least 1 Mitoplex a day. If you are noticing your body composition is changing a lot, you're working out at the gym more, you're sweating, you're in a hot environment, you may need 2 Mitoplex. If you're a long distance athlete or endurance athlete, you may need 2 or 3. So as body composition changes, we know that ketones do an amazing job reducing cravings. People tend to cut out sugars and sodas, and we know that the diet changes to a low sugar diet, eating clean. We start to talk about our amazing better meals. You're going to see there's no added sugars to them, that when you start to reduce sugars, you're going to see that the fat starts to fall off of you, which is great, but we know each fat cell has about 170 different toxins, vitamins, and minerals in there. So as you're losing fat, and ketones are not a weight loss or a weight loss supplement, but we do hear so amazing stories that people actually regain their health, rejuvenate, they find their better journey towards their optimal health, their optimal body composition. You can also lose essential nutrients and things that are in the Mitoplex, like electrolytes. So if you see that 20, 30 pound fat loss happening, weight loss happening, the weight is part of those electrolytes, you might want to take an extra Mitoplex. The reason people feel, I want to use that word feel, that by the Mexican ketones or even the Keto Kick or the Up a little bit quicker than the NAT, and this isn't for everyone, everyone's body is a little bit different, is the NAT is bound to a salt, it's bound to sodium. So we have the BHB, or beta hydroxybutyrate, here, and we have the Keto NAT here. It's bound to a salt. We know when we actually started developing the Up, which is in the can, it is actually on sale today because it is our CEO's birthday. So everyone say happy birthday, Brian. It was yesterday, the day before, but it is his birthday week, so we should celebrate his birthday week. We're talking about the Up, we're talking about the Keto Kick, we're talking about the Mexican ketones. They do have a different sweetener, but they're a free cell, which means the beta hydroxybutyrate is bound to the beta hydroxybutyrate. We don't have to wait for the salt to break apart to be absorbed. The BHB goes right into the bloodstream and is absorbed. So people do feel that quicker uptake. They are a little tart, and I love tart. That's why I love my heart tart, but this is a kiwi, which I actually love. So drop down your favorite flavor of your Mexican ketone, but people do feel it a little bit quicker. The main difference is the sweetener. To be compliant with the regulation in Mexico, we have erythritol and stevia as a natural sweetener. We want to maintain the all-natural compliance. The all-natural sweetener in here is allulose. So allulose is the main sweetener in our Mexican ketones. We have erythritol and stevia in our NAT. So you don't need to take an extra Mitoplex, but everyone should be taking at least 1, because I do blood work all the time in my office, and I'm always seeing deficiencies in electrolytes like sodium, potassium, the chloride ion is off, the CO2 balance is off, and that has to do with our overall pH, which is generally an electrolyte imbalance. Or if you take an Epsom salt bath and you feel better, that's because your body's absorbing those electrolytes. Generally means you probably need to take some Mitoplex. So welcome Marzayan from Riviera, from Florida, South Cape. Welcome, welcome. So Tracy, we just answered that question about ketones are absorbed into your body via the bloodstream, just like most nutrients are. They get into the bloodstream, and that's how they get to the target or the end organ spot. Blue Ocean, that is a delicious flavor. Ruby Rush. I'm looking at all these amazing flavors. So Ginger, you can drink your apple cider vinegar whenever you want. So with that being said, I'll just broaden that question. So if you are being directed to take specific nutrients from your healthcare provider, whether it is a vitamin, a digestive enzyme, a magnesium, or vitamin D, vitamin B, calcium, whatever your healthcare provider has instructed you to take, or if it's a medication like your thyroid medication first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, please follow directions of your healthcare provider. There's something you should take on an empty stomach. Please take precedence over that. And then again, this is an energy for our cell. So you want to take this when you start to feel the dip in energy, when you want to have more focus, when you want to have craving control. Apple cider vinegar is for digestion. It's not for energy. So you're drinking the ketones when you want energy, or maybe before bedtime when you want better sleep to help calm down that nervous system. So when you want to have, again, help control the cravings, help satiety, feeling fuller longer. So you can take that apple cider vinegar 20 or 30 minutes before your ketones or before your meal, whenever you want to take it. It's totally up to you. And when it comes to your nutrients, your medications, anything your healthcare provider has given you, please take as instructed by your healthcare provider. Great question. Oh, I love that. Sarah Ramos, big thumbs up and hearts for you. She hasn't missed a day of her ketones in 6 years. Splash with orange electrolytes. I need to try that. I love when people share their different recipes. So Chrissy, we just talked about pregnancy and electrolytes up above. So sometimes if you just hopped on, I'm trying to do my best job at reading as many questions as possible and getting those 90% questions, which are the most common questions that reach the largest population of people. And sometimes I've already gotten the question answered right before. And if you're just watching, reading some of these comments are simply amazing, or people's experience with ketones. So when it comes to fasting, this is a great question. Faith has a bigger question, goes on a little bit longer, but ketones do not affect your fasting. In the old days, I'm going to say old days, but prior to Prove It launching pure therapeutic ketones, we used to define fasting as anything with calories would break your fast, because normally it actually would increase your insulin level, because a break in insulin or increase in insulin is what breaks your fast. But things like coffee and tea, as long as you don't have an allergy or cortisol issue, don't have calories, with nothing in it, they don't break your fast. Even though ketones, pure therapeutic exogenous ketones, have calories, the Keto Kick has calories, the Mexican Ketones have calories, they're ketones. So normally when ketones go up, insulin stays the same, or blood glucose stays the same, or it goes down. So even though this has calories, it does not break your fast. It actually helps facilitate your fast. And the same is true with the Mitoplex. Oftentimes people have a difficult time trying to get to intermittent fasting because their energy starts to go off. Remember, Mitoplex are electrolytes, or energy, they're electricity for your body. They help extend that fasting window. So if you're trying to go a little bit longer in the morning or at nighttime, you're a little fidgety and you've already had your ketones, you think maybe you could have some extra Mitoplex there, because it's just your body needing a little bit more electricity, a little bit more communication, a little bit more to calm down the autonomic nervous system. Make sure you've had plenty of water, because that will help as well. 2 to 3% dehydration is fatigue, it's brain fog. You've already had your 2 ketones. That would be a great time to maybe have some broth at bedtime, have a Keto Pro. But normally if you're taking something like orange flavored Metamucil that has calories, that probably will break a fast. So just read that. The best way to know, check your blood glucose prior to taking something, then have it, and then check it again 30 or 40 minutes later. Normally after consuming anything, your blood glucose should return to normal 2 hours post food or drink consumption. So Linda's asking about high blood pressure. So ketones themselves do not directly treat high blood pressure nor any other disease process. However, when you look at the benefits of ketones being an energy source, we know the number one thing, the number one activity that most cardiologists recommend, and what the American Heart Association recommends when people have high blood pressure, is number one, get moving. I think the minimum is 15,000 steps a day. That was what I had in school 27 years ago. Now it's actually 12,000 steps a day. When you move more, it actually helps energize you, and it also lowers your blood pressure because it gets your circulation going. You drink more water when you get moving more. So when you have more energy, you start working out and moving more. When you drink ketones, more energy, more movement. We also know ketones calm down the nervous system because they lower dopamine, which is one of our neurotransmitters that cause anxiety. It's impulsivity, and it increases GABA, which is our feel-good, joyful hormone. So we know that if it increases your feel-good hormones, we know it calms down or gives you more energy. You want to get out moving along. It also helps you sleep better. When you're sleeping better, you're walking more, you're drinking more water, you reduce the cravings for sugary foods, which increase your blood pressure. As a domino effect or a secondary effect of drinking ketones, we have a lot of people reporting that they do see that their overall health, and blood pressure being one of those measures of overall health, get better. But ketones do not directly treat blood pressure, but as an amazing causative effect of the ketones, because better energy, better food choices, they get walking, they get moving, they get sleeping better, people overall get healthier. It's a great, read some of the Inspire On stories or videos, and you will see some amazing things happen. So Sarah's asking, can you take 2 of the Black Label a day? So the Black Label are also called our Unleashed. So that just depends on the person. It actually has about 30% more ketones, 30% more caffeine, 30% more of the B vitamins, because we know if it's got more caffeine, more ketones, it has more of a diuretic effect than just a regular NAT. As long as you're drinking enough water, as long as your heart rate variability, as long as your blood pressure, as long as everything else stays in normal check and you don't have any side effects, you don't have a caffeine sensitivity, yes, you can absolutely take 2 a day as long as it doesn't affect your sleep. There are people who are caffeine sensitive, and that was before Prove It ever came to market. There are people who are caffeine sensitive, and we do use a high quality of caffeine. If it does start to actually bother your sleep pattern, then just use one of the Black Label before noon or before 1, because studies show it does take 5 to 6 hours to get caffeine out of your body once you've consumed it. So just monitor how your body feels. So question about diarrhea and ketones. So this actually does come up quite a bit, and this is to as be expected. Ketones have a mild diuretic effect. So we talked about one fat cell, which you never get rid of. They just actually collapse as we get healthier. So as they collapse, we have about 170 different toxins, nutrients, vitamins, different things within there. So as you lose the bad stuff, sometimes you lose some of the good stuff too, as in electrolytes, you lose water, you lose vitamins, minerals. Those things can get washed away as it goes out with the fat cells. So what can happen is sometimes you can actually feel a little bit worse because you get depleted in your electrolytes. That's the amazing thing that ketones have. That's why it's so balanced. That's why the sodium's in there, the B vitamins, the magnesium, the calciums. We're encouraging electrolytes so that you have a better transition as your fat cells are dumping out the toxins. So for some people, they can actually get a little bit of diarrhea. If you know that you've had maybe a finicky stomach, or you have IBS, or maybe you have a little bit of stomach allergies or sensitivity, or you know that you've maybe the last decade or two have lived more in a fast food life, more processed food, maybe you've drank something that's had artificial sweetener in there and now you're getting healthier, you can have a little bit of the lashback or a little bit more diarrhea because the stomach's emptying that. It's very, very easy to do. It's a very good sign telling you that, gosh, I really need to get rid of some of this stuff inside my fat cells. It's not all about weight. It's about getting healthier on this journey towards better. So if it happens after drinking one serving, then I'm going to recommend that you do half a serving, or the kids approve the Mita Light. The Nat Light is called. It comes in 4 different flavors. You could do the Nat Light for a few days, or just split a package with your hubby or your partner or somebody at work for 2 or 3 days until the diarrhea slows down. Or you can try having your ketones with a little bit of fat or protein. So a couple spoonfuls of egg salad, chicken salad, a piece of beef jerky, a handful of nuts, a little bit of fat or protein will slow down the absorption of the ketones. And yes, you're still getting all the benefits of ketones, but it's helping it slow down as it goes through the colon. It should let up the diarrhea. We never want you having crampy diarrhea more than 2 or 3 bowel movements a day. Just slow down, listen to your body. It can happen. Knowing knowing your health history and you know your body better than anybody else, it will let up. Just give your body a little bit of time. Just again, slow down the intake of your ketones, which is a half a serving, have a little bit of fat or protein with it. As that lets up, then you can increase your serving size. I would also do the one without caffeine, because caffeine is known to be a stimulant for the colon as well, and know that it does happen to several people. If you have the other end happening where you're getting actually constipation when you start the ketones, when we know that 79.8% of the world is dehydrated. The major function of the colon is to reabsorb water before evacuation. We also know that ketones help actually take away cravings. They give you that feeling of fullness, so people will actually reduce their carbohydrate and refined sugar intake. Refined sugars, refined carbohydrates are already food that's kind of pre-chewed for you, like a Twinkie or a Pop-Tart or bagel or pasta. So when you take away that food and now you're putting in whole foods that your body has to digest, like Brussels sprouts and cabbage, it can slow the colon down. Number one, when you have constipation with ketones, make sure you're drinking at least half your body's weight in water. Add some Mitoplex, because the electrolytes will help the colon reabsorb the water. We talked about the PQ2 and the Mitoplex, making sure the water gets into the cell, even in the colon. Drink half your body's weight in water. Don't count the water in your coffee or your tea or anything else that you're drinking. Half your body's weight in water throughout the day. Have some Mitoplex. That will ensure that the water gets into the colon. And again, add some healthy greens, a couple cups of above ground greens with every meal. That will absolutely help. The 143, the collagen, the Keto Kreme, and the broth will also help your colon, also will help bowel movements as well. So lots of options there if you've got constipation to help things get moving along. So good luck, and let me know how things turn out, because that will absolutely help. So Keto Kicks, Lisa's saying, how many can I have a day? So one Keto Kick. I'm going to have a quick drink here. You can let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what flavor you're drinking up. Keto Kick is our brand new technology. 2 amazing flavors. If you got one, drop what flavor you got down below. This is I always get them backwards. It is a lemon, sorry. This is a strawberry kiwi. I love them both, but I'd pick one. This is a strawberry kiwi flavor, and this is a lemon drop. I always say lime drop. This is a lemon drop. Strawberry kiwi lemon drop. This has as much ketones as the NAT and as the Mexican Ketones. It will put you in ketosis as well. This is more of a neuro boost, we call it. It has more amino acids that are specific for your brain that we often don't get in our daily diet. So we talk about being a neuro boost or neurotropic, which is specifically for the brain function. Still has the ketones, amazing energy, helps with satiety, helps with cravings, helps with brain, cognition, recall, sleep, energy, but in 3 ounces. So it's the same thing. You can take anywhere from 2 to 3 ketones a day. Just make sure that you're hydrated. It does have 100 milligrams of caffeine in that. So if you're having coffee and tea, just make sure you include a little bit of extra water because you're having extra caffeine. It does have phosphatidylcholine in there. It does have the free cell BHB that we talked about before, but it is bound to a potassium D. So it has a special potassium that's specific for the brain. Often people say, I feel like my brain is like brighter. I'm seeing colors brighter. I'm hearing better. Like my memory's better. I feel like I'm on point all day. So yes, you can have any combination that you want. You can have the NAT, you can have the Boost, you can have the Pro, you can have the, and this is what I did yesterday. I mixed half a splash with the lemon drop. So I had a half and half yesterday. You can mix and match any of those that you want to do. It does have 100 milligrams of caffeine in it, a little bit of niacin, just only 15 milligrams of sodium because it is a free BHB, and it gets bound to potassium, where the NAT has the sodium in it and a little bit of calcium. And then the Mexican Ketones, again, have no sodium. The UP has no sodium. So I know they're going to be a flash sale again, so stay tuned, and let me know what your favorite flavor is. When it comes to low blood pressure, definitely you want to have electrolytes. Sodium is really good. Generally, when you lose weight, we talk about weight being those things because weight is muscle, bone, fat, and liquids or fluids in your lymphatic cell. We are not a weight loss company. However, when people lose fat, we talk about the fat cell, you can lose some of those things like sodium. That's why we have sodium in our NAT. That's why there's a little bit of sodium in our Keto Kick. So it's okay to put pink Himalayan sea salt on your food as long as your doctor hasn't made any specific recommendations for you. So I know that we are out of time. I want to get one more question here today. I was about 3 minutes late because I was gathering all my goodies here to show you today. So Morgan's saying, my aunt says her keto tests show a trace of ketones. So you don't have to test your ketones unless your doctor has specifically said you need to test your ketones. It's a total optional thing for you unless you're one of those biohackers. If you're using urine strips, they can start to go bad. I know there's a 90-day kind of time frame. Once you open them up, they're good for 90 days. However, I have found over the last 20 years, we do use them at our office. I've used them at home. I've done different sticks, like even the same urine I've did 4 or 5 times. They can show different from a trace to moderate to whatever. Even if it's just a trace, you're still in ketosis. I would rather have people go by how they feel intuitively, like how do you feel? Do you feel different? I know I start to get that dry tongue thing, like my tongue gets thick, my mouth gets dry, because ketones again have that mild diuretic effect. They're pulling water and toxins out of those fat cells because again, they're a mild diuretic. Some people just feel like maybe you're talking faster, you remember everything, you're more articulate, things seem very clear in the room. Some people like, I just don't feel hungry, like I'm not thinking about food, or I can just pass by a food bar, I can just pass by and pass up candy at the office, I can pass by bagel and pasta, I can just turn down food like I didn't even think about it before. So oftentimes it's better to be in tune with how you feel, so you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full. You're not just eating because it smells good. But remember, ketones are an energy source for the brain. When the brain's connecting to your hormones like ghrelin and leptin, which are your hunger hormones, they get turned on and off when your body's at a really good level place. That's really what we're hoping for. So whether it's a trace of ketosis, moderate, mild, whatever that level may be, or whatever your blood level may be, go by how you feel. I will have patients test when they're feeling really good, test when they're feeling not so great, or when they're low. Sometimes it has to do with sleep, sometimes it has to do with hydration. There's so many other factors that come along. Stress will also have a play with how your body feels, the amount of exercise, the more moving that you are. We know movement has a lot to do with getting your blood flowing. It has a lot to do with getting the ketones moving within your cells. We also know it has a lot to do with mood and how you sleep. So I would tell your Aunt Morgan, how does she feel? How do you feel? Is it really about what the number is on the stick or the blood meter, or is it how you feel? Most people start drinking ketones because they want to feel better. They want to have energy so they can go do more things during the day. They can be more productive during the day. They can get to the gym more. They can maybe do a home project. Maybe they just want to sleep better. Maybe they just are tired of the tug of war with food. They just want to have a healthy relationship with it. So I just really honestly want to focus on the energy of the body, feeling good when you wake up, going to bed and sleeping like a baby, and being the best version of yourself each and every day. And that's what we like to teach here at Prove It. I am one of the community coaches, is that we want you to be the very best version of yourself, and know that happens by 1% every day. It's not 100% overnight, but just taking a 1% journey every single day. And like Sarah said, she's been drinking it every day for 6 years. I've been drinking it every day since 2015, as many other people have here. Some people are just getting started today, but it's such an exciting journey as we develop more and more products. And it is hard just to drink one of these a day and just have one of my heart tarts or one of my kiwis, but it is an amazing time. So if you're brand new and you're asking about some of these other products, please get back to the person that invited you to this page. They can help you walk through the shopping cart. They can help you decide which products are right for you. I know we didn't talk about the Keto Kreme, we didn't talk about the 143, but hopefully we got the questions answered that you have questions on. And stay tuned, because it is our CEO's birthday week. We are dropping lots of promos this week, lots and lots of promos. If you're a soda pop person, we have some amazing up. We have some root beer up. We've got a new flavor out today. So lots and lots of exciting things going on. Give us some thumbs up if you're taking advantage of this, and don't forget to pop over to our Instagram page and wish our CEO Brian Underwood a very happy birthday week this week. And we do this every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So thanks for watching from wherever you are around the world. Absolutely hit that share button. Share, hit that share button. And yes, you can tag your friends. You can invite your friends all over. Last question I will answer here today from Denise. Does Keto Kreme break your fast? 90% of the time, it does not break your fast. I've done several videos on this. We have videos on our YouTube channel where we have Dr. Ford, Dr. Lowry talking, because it has 3 different types of MCTs, C8, C10, and C12 in there. C8 specifically turns in very quickly into ketones. So when you combine it with coffee or a tea and you have C8, that C8 turns very quickly into ketones. So it should facilitate your fast. The Ceylon cinnamon is great for digestion. It will actually also facilitate that MCT or that C8 turning into further ketones, as the C10 and C12, they're just longer carbon chains, turn into ketones. So for me, it actually drops my blood sugar about 10 points. It does not break my fast. However, if you're caffeine sensitive or if you're mixing it with something like almond milk, then that would actually break your fast. If you're putting it with something like on a waffle or a pancake or making a cookie out of it, or you're putting it in a chia pudding, that's going to break your fast. But if you're putting with a coffee or tea, you're not caffeine sensitive and you're not sensitive to the dairy that is in the Keto Kreme, it should not break your fast. Check your blood sugar. If your blood sugar goes up after you've drank it, and by drink it and then check it 20 or 30 minutes later, it should not break your fast. If it does, then go to a half a serving. Most people like to have 2 cups of coffee a day or 2 cups of tea. If it does not, then you can do that. But you can also start your day out with a cup of the broth. There's lots of options you can start your day with. So Denise, that's a very common question, but 9% of the time, no, because we have an amazing MCT in there. That C8 will go right to a ketone. If you have a good, healthy liver, it will turn it there pretty quickly. So you guys have an amazing day. Again, this is Dr. Heather Carden coming to you live from Kansas City, saying have an amazing day and keep on proving it. Bye-bye.